Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we dive into the fascinating and complex life of one of the Bible's most famous kings, Solomon. His story is a powerful lesson about grace, wisdom, and the danger of a divided heart. Have you ever felt like your past mistakes might disqualify you from God's plan? Well, let's look at Solomon. He was born from a relationship that started with adultery and ended in tragedy. His father, King David, took Bathsheba, another man's wife, and their first child was lost as a consequence of that sin. Yet, from this very union, Solomon was born. And incredibly, God not only loved Solomon but chose him to be the next king of Israel. This is the first mind-blowing display of God's grace in Solomon's life. God didn't look at the messy circumstances of his birth. Instead, he saw a future he had planned. In 2 Chronicles, we read that God was powerfully with Solomon. He granted him wisdom unlike any other person, and under his rule, Israel entered an unprecedented era of peace and prosperity. It was a golden age, a testament to God's blessing. The Bible tells us in 1 Kings that Solomon loved the Lord and walked in the statutes of his father David. He started so well. He built the magnificent temple, a house for God, and his wisdom became legendary throughout the world. He had everything going for him: God's favor, incredible intellect, and a peaceful kingdom. It seems like the perfect story, right? But here's where the story takes a critical turn. The verse I just mentioned has a small but significant detail at the end. Only he sacrificed and burned incense at the high places. That little word, only, is a crack in the foundation. It was a small compromise, a slight deviation from God's commands. David had commanded him to be wholly devoted, but Solomon started to tolerate practices that were not fully aligned with God's law. This seemingly small compromise grew over time. Solomon married many foreign wives, not just for love, but for political alliances. And here's the problem. These wives brought their foreign gods with them. To please them, Solomon allowed and even participated in the worship of these idols. The wisest man who ever lived began making foolish choices. He, who had been so richly blessed by God, started to turn his heart away. His wisdom couldn't protect him from the slow drift of a divided heart. He tried to please his wives and the people, but in doing so, he began to displease the one who gave him everything. This led the entire nation of Israel down a path away from God. So what's the lesson for us today? It's a powerful and sober one. For God, partial faithfulness is not faithfulness. Imagine a large, pure reservoir of drinking water. Now, imagine adding just a few drops of poison. Would you still drink it? Of course not. The entire reservoir is now contaminated. In the same way, a heart that is partially devoted to God and partially devoted to other things is, in God's eyes, an impure heart. God is incredibly merciful, full of grace and love, as we see in his choice of Solomon. But he is also a just God who desires our whole hearts. He's not looking for perfection, but he is looking for complete devotion. As someone once said, partial faithfulness is nothing more than disguised unfaithfulness. Let this be a challenge for all of us. Let's examine our own lives. Are there any high places in our hearts? Any small compromises we're making that could lead us down the wrong path? Let us ask God to help us be constant in our obedience and to keep our hearts pure and wholly devoted to him. Because it is only when we give him our all that we can truly experience the fullness of his blessing and care. Thank you so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next video.